So over the last few weeks, I've been noticing a completely new method that small creators are using to absolutely blow up their content. And it's crazy because I keep seeing this working over and over again. So in this video, I'm going to show you this method step by step so that you can use it to actually start seeing some real growth with your content. So we're actually going to break this strategy down into 3 very simple steps. And I want to be clear, this isn't some generic YouTube advice that you've heard a million times already. This is a repeatable method that I've watched play out for so many small creators in so many different niches. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. However, just before we dive into this, I will say that you do need all 3 pieces of the puzzle to make this work. So make sure that you do watch the whole video because I know for a fact that this method is going to help you a lot. Okay, so let's dive into step number 1. And I've talked about this idea in a video before, and people really resonated with this. So here's the thing, when you are a small creator, you have a very big problem that nobody really talks about. And that's that your video doesn't get judged on the quality of the video itself, it gets judged on the number next to it. For example, if your YouTube video has 12 views or your Instagram account has 7 followers, then people are going to associate those low numbers with low quality, even if you're making absolutely incredible videos. So what this means is that when people see your video with 12 views next to a similar video with 1 million views, then they're always going to click on the video with higher views because again, they're going to assume it's a higher quality video. And I wish that wasn't the case, but it is the truth. However, there is a way to completely sidestep this issue, and I've used this method on my own channel and it worked amazingly well. And it's to lean into your newcomer status. So what do I actually mean by that? Well, basically you are going to stop fighting the fact that you are a new creator and actually start using it to your advantage. So let me give you my favorite example of this. Let's say you're making videos about fitness. You're documenting your fitness journey and you've got 7 followers, you're a completely new creator. Now, eventually your fitness videos are going to start getting recommended to people, but they are going to be shown next to all the big fitness creators. These guys have insane physiques, they have like 8 packs, and also they have millions of views as well. And if you post a video called How to Build Muscle, then I'm sorry, but nobody's going to watch it because people are just going to watch the big creators with millions of views every single time because they're going to assume that those creators have more value to give. And that's just the harsh truth. But here is how you are going to solve this problem. You need to lean into the fact that you are a new creator. For example, this is Joe Phaser's channel. Right now, he has about 2 million subscribers and his first ever video got 31 million views, which is absolutely insane, especially when you look at the title and thumbnail. Now, clearly, 31 million people didn't click on this because they thought it was some perfect, polished video. They clicked to watch a real, authentic story where someone is actually owning the fact that they are a newcomer instead of trying to compete with all the big, successful creators. And also, just before we move on to step number 2, I've actually put together a completely free guide for you to help you figure out why your videos aren't getting many views right now and exactly how to fix it. So yeah, like I said, it's completely free to download, so I'll leave a link in the description if you want to check that out. Okay, so step number 2 is where things get really interesting because now we're going to use something called the skyscraper method. And I actually learned about this from the world of SEO, but it works perfectly when it comes to content creation as well. So basically, the skyscraper method in SEO is you find a website or an article that's ranking really high on Google, and then you essentially go away and you make a better or a more detailed version of that website. And the idea is that your version of the website will eventually rank highly in Google as well. So then with content creation, it kind of works the same way. So basically, you need to find an outlier that is already performing well in your niche, and then simply make a similar video, but add your own unique style, your own perspective, and your own personality as well. Now, maybe you've heard about this idea before, but there is a really really important twist that I'll tell you about in just a moment. And trust me, that little twist is an absolute game changer. Now, before I tell you what that is, let me give you a couple of examples of just how well the skyscraper method actually works. So when I started posting videos to this channel, I was literally getting 0 subscribers and maybe a couple of views here and there. And it kind of hurt a little bit, I'm not gonna lie, because I was putting so much time and so much energy into those videos. But then I started noticing a pattern in my niche where small creators were posting a certain video with very similar titles and very similar thumbnails. And the title was always something like, "How content creation completely changed my life in 90 days or 6 months," or something like that. And the thumbnail always used the phrase, "just start." And these videos that all had the same title and the same thumbnail always seemed to get a ton of views every single time. So I thought, why don't I just try that as well? You know, nothing really seems to be working. What have I got to lose? So I went away and made my own version, and that video currently has 300,000 views, and it essentially kickstarted my entire channel. And to give you another very quick example, there is a creator called Nick, who we've been helping inside my program. And Nick also used this exact same strategy with one video, and it blew up to about 90,000 views, and it actually ended up getting him monetized on YouTube. And by the way, shameless plug, but if you are struggling to grow your audience as a content creator and you want to see some real results in the next 30 days, then check out the top link in the description. I can help you out. Now, finally, let's talk about that little twist on the skyscraper method that I was telling you about earlier. And this is the part that most people get completely wrong. Because when people hear that you need to find outliers in your niche, then their brain instantly goes to the biggest creators out there. So they think about people like Mr. Beast or Alex Hormozi, you know, people with massive teams, insane budgets, and years of momentum behind them. But that's actually completely the wrong place to look. What you really want to look for are outliers from small creators who post one video that completely blows up out of nowhere. Because if you look for high-performing outlier videos from someone like Alex Hormozi, then you don't actually know what caused that result. Because Alex Hormozi might get 1 million views on a video just because he's Alex Hormozi and everyone already knows who he is. So what we're looking for is outlier videos from small creators. Because when a small creator blows up in your niche, you know for a fact that they found a killer video idea that is resonating with your target audience. And like I said, I keep seeing this work for small creators over and over again. So literally taking one small creator outlier and reworking the angle, improving the hook, changing the framing slightly, and suddenly their content actually starts getting a ton of views as well. Okay, so now we understand how to position ourselves as small creators and also how to find proven killer video ideas. Now it's time to move on to the third and final step. So people talk a lot about the differences between quality and quantity when it comes to content creation. So should you go for quantity and try and put out as many videos as possible, or should you go for quality and try and make every video as perfect as possible? And the truth is, of course, your end goal is to do both. So you want quantity, so you want to be uploading on a consistent basis, but you also want quality as well. So you want unique and engaging and valuable videos. But the tricky part is actually getting to a point where you can do both. So you have quality and quantity. And a huge mistake that I see beginners making at first is they really overwhelm themselves and they try and figure out both at the same time. So they're trying to do quality, so they're trying to make every video as amazing as possible, but they're also trying to get the quantity down as well. So they're trying to post as much as possible as well. And I'm just going to be completely honest, I have made this mistake before and it went very badly. So a couple of years ago, I started a YouTube channel and it did really well. So I had one video that did over 600,000 views. I had about 50,000 subscribers on the channel. But from day one, I went all in on quality. So I was trying to make every single video into a masterpiece. And I burnt out so badly. Like if you go on that channel now, there's only 7 long form videos on the channel because I burnt out so fast. And if you've ever done anything creative before, you know that creative burnout is very real, and I really don't want you to fall into that trap. So the way I fixed this and almost fell back in love with making videos was quantity, then quality. And not because quality doesn't matter, but because quality is built through output. And when you focus on quantity and consistency first, something weird happens. You stop being so emotionally attached to every single video. You know, you experiment more, you take more creative risks, you get sharper and faster at creating videos and sharing your ideas. And then at some point, without really noticing it, the quality of your videos starts going up automatically anyway. So yeah, if you are a beginner, stop trying to be perfect and make perfect videos and simply just focus on building momentum first. And look, I know how cliche this is to say, but this framework in this order is literally exactly what I used to change my entire life with content creation. But if you do want to go one step deeper, I actually made this video where I show you how to make better content than 99% of other creators out there. So yeah, click onto that video and I'll see you there.